PFAS has become, a trigger issue, not just in Sweden, but, around the world. There's multiple studies that show that there's pretty serious health impacts from long-term consumption of PFAS. And, this is a public health issue, it's an environmental issue, something's got to be done. The client, in this case, they're looking to resolve an issue with groundwater contamination and treating it for PFAS to make sure that, nothing that is released is containing these compounds. Right now, they have multiple PFAS problems. The one that we're treating is kind of the most acute. What really is at issue here is that there's multiple different places over decades that this firefighting foam has been used. And even though there seems to be a lot to look at, fundamentally, it's a pretty simple system. So what we have is an initial pre-treatment stage with carbon. That has nothing to do with PFAS. What we're trying to achieve here is just to treat the water and get rid of as many other contaminants as possible before we get to the ion exchange resin, the SORBIX PURE. So we're following the water's path through the carbon. We get into the two simple cartridge filters. That's just to remove any possible carbon that may have made its way out of the system, and then into the heart, which is where the PFAS is removed. And that's the two blue vessels you see behind me containing SORBIX PURE. And once the water has passed through those, there is nothing left. There's no PFAS. It's under detection level. So it's about as clean as you can get. It's drinking water quality. We were able to guarantee a higher percentage removal of PFAS at the end of the day. Multiple different technologies can remove PFAS, but it's a question of to what degree. You have to tailor your solution to the problem. And the ion exchange resin that we have, the SORBIX ion exchange resin, it is the most effective at removing PFAS from groundwater, from surface water, from drinking water. So the client will save a lot of money in both the short term and the long term because the system is smaller, requires less maintenance, and requires less media to be destroyed at the end of the process. GAC is effective. You can remove PFAS with GAC, but you require large quantities and it has to be changed out often. As the permitted limits in Europe drop, that just means that the frequency of changeout has to increase. And that's where things become economically impractical and infeasible. It just costs too much. And you can't operationally be changing out your carbon multiple times a week. It just doesn't make sense. So compared to that, an ion exchange resin has a far higher capacity. You have to change it out less frequently. So, just from a price point, you don't have to buy as much material and you don't have to get rid of as much material. So it's a win-win.